Hey TCSTV viewers, it's Dave and Evelyn from the camera store, and today we're coming to you from Elbow Falls.
Yeah, Elbow Falls is in Bragg Creek, Alberta, which is one of the most stunning places that our province has to offer, and we thought it'd be the perfect place to check out the brand new Sony RX100 Mark VI.
So this destination is super popular with families to come out for picnics and stuff. The great destination to test out a camera just like this.
The first thing that you'll notice about this camera is the zoom range. This is a 24 to 200 millimeter zoom range with a variable aperture of f2.8 to 4.5. It's impressively sharp throughout the entire range, and it has 4 stops of image stabilization built into the lens.
One thing I really like about this camera is that they've re-engineered the electronic viewfinder and how it's incorporated. The old one wasn't bad, but you'd have to pop it up and then pull it out, push it back in, push it down. The new one is very easy. Pops up and out automatically, pushes in just like that. It's a little thing, but it makes a world of difference when it comes to usability. I really like the electronic viewfinder as an option, especially now that we have a 200mm equivalent lens. When I'm holding a camera like this, I'm inherently less stable. And even though it is stabilized, I'm not doing it any favors. Holding it up to my eye like this, it gives me the ability to shoot much closer up without having to worry about it. So the screen is articulating and it's very, very handy. If I want to do selfies, for instance, it's not really my thing, but if you want to do selfies, you certainly can with a camera like this. You can also rotate it the other direction here, and this is really handy if you want to do over-the-plate sort of foodie shots for Instagram, for instance, or if I want to do macro photography, it's really nice and flexible. It does incorporate a touchscreen as well. It allows me to adjust my focusing points, which is all right, but I do find myself finding it a little on the laggy side. I tend to use the focusing modes and the dial here, the 8-way controller, to move my focusing points around.
One of the things that's really fun about shooting this camera is that you can shoot at 24 frames per second. Now, I got to test this out at a rodeo, and I was absolutely blown away by how well the autofocusing system kept up with the subject. It's going to be perfect for sports, and that's because they've incorporated the Sony A9 autofocusing system into this compact camera. So you're getting an incredibly versatile focusing system at a high frame rate. This is a pro feature that they've built into this nice little compact camera. Now, one thing that you have to be aware of, though, if you're shooting at 24 frames per second, is that the buffer is really slow to clear. And that's because they've only incorporated a UHS-1 card slot into it. So even if you get a fast memory card, you're still going to have to wait for the buffer to clear.
All right, so it's starting to rain a little bit here, and I'm vlogging for the first time ever in my life. Running into Evelyn here in a second here.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So I think we better put the camera away.
Whatever.
It's getting kind of wet.
Look at that shot.
I made Dave come in the car because it's pouring. And no, this camera is not ours. Sony lent it to us. But I really don't want to brick another camera.
How are you finding the camera so far? What's your experience with it?
You know, I think it's really good. When the RX100 series first came out, it was always the obvious choice over a cell phone, but that's becoming a little bit tougher to justify.
Yeah, the cell phones nowadays have come a long ways, but
yes.
No optical zoom, really.
No, you're not going to get, well, you're not going to get a 24 to 200 millimeter zoom lens.
No.
And if you're into doing selfies, which a lot of cell phone users are, your front camera is not that good. And so this camera is going to get you much better quality than that front camera on your smartphone.
For sure. Now, I was just recently vlogging for the first time ever. You know?
Yeah. What do you think about the new little grip tripod?
You know, it's very cute. And it's super compact. I'm a big fan of smaller tripods to travel with. Any tripod's better than no tripod.
That's true.
But 24 millimeters isn't super wide. So,
no.
You know, when both of us are squeezing in the shot there, right? It's you know, I'd like to be a little further out and have a little more frame to play with.
Like maybe even double the length. If it could extend out, it'd be that much better for vlogging.
All right, it looks like the rain has stopped here. Let's get back out there and finish up.
Okay. So you had a chance to play with video a little bit. What did you think?
I did. So I really like it as a little video camera. It'd be great for some B-roll and stuff. It does shoot 4K video, but you are limited to 5 minutes of recording time in 4K. If you're shooting 1080, then you have much longer. But
yeah, well, the 4K is nice to have if you want to have some B-roll or something like that. If
and
you're
it's
shooting.
pretty cool because you have S-Log2, S-Log3 to play with in post. But it is what it is, you know. But I don't know if I would use this as necessarily a high-end B camera, right? It's more of a family camera, more of a fun thing, right?
For more video clips, if you want to make a nice edit of your family adventure or hiking. I know there's a lot of people out there that this would make a great hiking camera as long as you're careful about the rain and the elements. It would be great.
I love the fact that I can put this in my jacket pocket and it's very comfortable, and I got this huge range. A great little video camera, a great autofocusing system to it. They did take out the ND filter.
Yes.
Which sort of ticked off a few video people that
in
your
we
life
may know. Yeah, no, I think that's a huge set against camera. It also doesn't have the mic jack, it doesn't have a headphone jack, and it doesn't have a hot shoe. So you're either limited to using the in-camera recording, or you can use an external recorder, but you have to sync up the audio, and who wants to do that?
So now in this video I become a hardcore vlogger. I don't know, if I was a full-time vlogger and that was my thing, I don't think I'd buy this, strictly because I don't have the audio capabilities to add on anything to it. But just the occasional vlogging and having fun with my kids, what have you, I think it works really well.
Yeah, it does the trick, and I think with that new little grip mini tripod, it gives the ability to shoot out from your body. It's just not wide enough.
So I'm setting up for what hopefully will be a fairly cool shot here. We'll see. We have kind of mixed lighting today. We have this great waterfall, which is very cool. And I'm gonna see if I can get my shutter speed down a little bit lower. I don't have a built-in ND filter, so I gotta cheat a little bit with this camera. I've dropped my ISO down as low as I can go. I've stepped up my aperture. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, it looks kind of okay.
Pretty crazy to think this was all underwater 5 years ago.
5 years ago, we were hit with a massive flood in this area, and it totally devastated this whole area. So when you see the riverbank, you see how much it's expanded.
Yeah, it's like 3 times the size.
At least, right? It was devastated, but it's coming back, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the falls are still gorgeous, and I'm really glad that we got a chance to get out here to test out the RX100 VI.
For sure. So this has been a fantastic camera to play around with and walk around with. It's incredibly versatile. I call it the jack of all trades cameras, because it kind of does everything really well.
Yeah, so who do you think that this camera is designed for?
People with a little more disposable income than I have.
Yes, it is $1,600 Canadian.
So I've owned, the last 2 cars I've owned were worth less than this camera.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth it, and I think Sony's going to have a hit on their hands with this camera, because if you're a family traveling and you don't want to carry much around, you just want one tool to do everything really quite well, this is going to suit you.
Yeah, I think traveling, hiking, family stuff, for pros that want an extra little pocket camera to bring along with them, it's going to be a great choice. And there's nothing else really on the market that competes with it in this small a profile. Panasonic comes pretty close, but
you give up a few key features to it.
Yeah,
so I would still take that over this, even despite the price tag. I would certainly go for that.
Yeah. Now we should talk about some of the limitations. Of course, we've mentioned the weather sealing. It's a little scary having.
I think we tested the weather sealing.
Yeah, we did, and it performed. It did okay.
It did okay over a little bit.
Battery power is also another issue.
So that's a big issue for me. If I was to buy this camera, I would certainly invest in a second battery, maybe even a third if I was going to go backpacking. Now, what's unique about it, though, you can power it through USB. So if you have a USB charger for your phone or on your car, something like that, you can certainly charge this camera wherever you want.
Yes.
But the battery life isn't stellar on it.
Can you think of anything else that's missing?
I think it's missing more cowbell.
Yes. Well, besides cowbell, I mean, it's a pretty comprehensive package. You know, you just have to ask yourself, like, is $1,600 worth going towards a compact point and shoot style camera? I mean, personally, I would probably want to invest that in a mirrorless. You can get an A6300 kit for around the same budget. But if you want a no fuss, no muss, almost pocketable camera, then this could fit the bill.
Yeah, like I said, to me, this is the jack of all trades cameras. All right, thanks for joining us today in beautiful Elbow Falls, just outside of Calgary. If you get a chance, come out and check it out. It's a beautiful place.
Yes, thanks so much for watching, and make sure that you comment below with any suggestions. Let us know what you thought about the camera, what you thought about our review, and if you're new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe.
Also, follow us on Instagram.
Yes, and we'll see you guys again next time.
You know what this camera needs?
What?
More cowbell. Worst impression ever.